Welcome to third downs and touchdowns for the Miami Dolphins. Just a little post-game, obviously post-game review. The focus will be specifically, as I've mentioned, third downs and touchdowns, but you'll always see the first drive, the first play of the first drive as well. We are playing the Kansas City Chiefs, reigning Super Bowl champions. They have kicked off to us. It was a touchback. Ball's on the 25, so let's see what we've got. So our first screenshot just shows our formation. This is obviously pre-snap, no motions on our offensive right. Obviously you can see centre, guard, tackle. We have Shaheen at Y, Gesicki at F, Smythe at Z. So this is a heavy right formation, looks like a run. We've only got Parker really out as a split receiver in tight coverage, probably going to be press. Two in the shotgun. Washington, interestingly, in the I, or I would call dot, not showing strength. So that's our first card. So our next screenshot is really, excuse me, a view from the coaches film. Just shows the box. You can see here pre-snap, pre-motion view for Tua is two high safeties. Looks like cover two. If he looked out to his offensive left, he'd see Parker obviously in coverage. So right now everything looks like two high coverage. So our next screenshot shows number 81, Smythe's original starting position. He motions across, lines up beside the offensive tackle on the left, just giving it. So now with Washington being in the dot formation or an I formation almost, it just balances out the defense. Balances out the offense, but the defense have to stay balanced because we're almost equal on both sides in terms of run blocking. As you can see here, so now we've motioned Shaheen across. You can see that one of the chief safeties walked into the middle of the field. The other safety is moving down. You'll see this more effectively in coach's film, but moves down, allowing him effectively to play Shaheen. But what that does for Tua, it clearly shows, it confirms the cover one look with Parker out here, but also the safety in the midfield confirms it's cover one. So here we have the roots. On the outside, Parker has got the deep comeback. Gesicki are lined up as the F has the crossing route. No, Shaheen is going to stay into block. Smythe, 81, has motioned to the offensive left. I believe that he would release into the flat, but it's not effective. And you'll see that in the coach's film. Washington in the dot has the play action fake, hard run to the right, and to a boots. This is an effective play because it looks like initially we have more blockers on the offensive right, and the defense flow that way. The difficulty here is that Tua turns his back on the play, can't see the coverage on Gesicki, and effectively it's a one-man route to Parker. Next slide just shows really how the defense respond to the play action. You can see both the linebackers attacking the gap where Washington is headed, eyes to the inside or flowing everywhere else. Just a couple of things I want to highlight here. I've labelled one Gesicki releasing. It's a good release. He's got inside leverage for the crossing route. The eyes are for the safety on Gesicki. I've labelled 32, I think it's the Honey Badger here. I've incorrectly labelled him looking into the backfield. Actually, he's the flat defender. So if Shaheen was... if Smythe was to get a clear release into the flat, he would be responsible for that offensive receiver. Parker locked up one-on-one. First and 10 on the 25 after the Chiefs are kicked off to us and we've touched it back. We've just come into the clip as Smythe starts to motion across. Currently it looks like a cover two. Both safeties are high, although we're locked up. Parker's locked up one-on-one at the bottom of our screen. Pre-action, we know that we've got pre-play, we know we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, four down defenders. This is a linebacker who's walked down, two linebackers. I would call this a 40 front. By bringing Smythe across, what it allows Tua to do is see that now Sorensen has walked into the middle of the field. This safety is going to start to walk down because it's cover one. He's got responsibility for Smythe. Nothing's changed on the outside. Parker's still locked up one-on-one. Now the question for Tua is, who is going to cover Gesicki? Will it be the corner or will it be the stand-up outside linebacker? The other thing that I'd like to mention is Washington almost in a good old-fashioned I formation. I know that we've got blocking strength essentially to our right because we've got the center, guard, tackle, tight end, and the Z is up on the line. So we've got more blocking strength to our right, but I formation from Washington just hides it now because we've got three blockers on our left. As we run it through, we see that the defense is really attacking that play action. Both the linebackers are flown to the hole. It looks like a nice big gap here. You can see that Gesicki has got clean release. He's going to get inside leverage on the corner now, who's covering him. But as he runs the crossing route across the middle of the field, safety's in the middle of the field because he doesn't know who's the bigger. Right now he's looking at Gesicki. That's where they're afraid of. Parker is one-on-one on the outside. As we freeze it there, Gesicki's got leverage on. Gesicki's got leverage on the corner. The safety has got his eyes in the field, into the backfield. Is he looking at Tua? Is he looking at Smythe? Parker hasn't been forced to the sideline, which is good. As we run it through right now, decent coverage on Parker. This really should have been defensive holding because he's stopped the receiver from getting out on the route. And now this is a flat defender, so he's got responsibility for Smythe. The defensive end's going to go to Tua, but this is a great route from Parker. Puts his foot in the dirt, comes back to the football. Good route, good throw, good catch, good job there. So, Coach's Box View, my favourite view of the film. No escape for any of the linemen or the X's of the Y or anyone who's attached, but it just gives a better view of what's happening. Really important in run and especially run blocking, but also in pass pro. Right now, when I see this, I'm going, oh my God, tackle, what are you doing? Stop looking. They know what the coverage is. We're just going to run it through. As I run it through, right now, I've got my tackle looking at, suggesting he's going to block the end. If I take it back, I just want you to look for the communication between the offensive and defensive lineman. Sorry, went back 10 seconds. It's just another good catch by Parker. All right, so what we're looking here is the communication. There is chat going on here, which is good. They know what they're doing. Good down block, eyes inside. Good combination. Okay, now we can see Gesicki coming across the formation. The linebacker's bailing for depth as we go on. Anyone see the holding I mentioned earlier? Tut tut. Now, what I want you to look at here is not, this is going to be a tough throw. He can't put his foot in the dirt and throw to Gesicki. Just not going to happen. But if we look at the throw to Parker, it's high into the outside. If Parker does not catch that, that cornerback is not making the play. I'm not always going to look at the box film, but in that play, I just want to highlight what a good job that is.